The solution to all politics on Earth is not an ideology, it's a technology. Imagine you're living in a floating Venice. The entire community votes for a political party. You're the only one who voted against it. You say, screw this. I'm detaching my home, my yard, my garden, and I'm inexpensively floating down the moat and out into the ocean and attaching to another community. I withdraw my fees, and I go pay a provider of a policy I think is better. Governments would be forced to compete for you like companies do, and you wouldn't be a citizen, you'd be a customer. This is already going on all over the oceans everywhere. Patriots step from their country onto an anarcho-capitalist floating city, and they don't change their ideology. They simply choose something better. Private governance on cruise ships is so much better, people take a vacation on it. Every year, a population bigger than Texas signs a contract to get on a floating city and be governed. They don't even read it. I don't know. I agree to private arbitration of my disputes. I get health care. I think there's security on board. I don't know. Safety regulations? I think so. It all works out. I don't have to think about it. I'm just going to hop on this giant floating city with thousands of people I don't know. Everything is going to be cheaper. Everything is going to be easier. It's not even going to occur to the passengers to argue about politics on the floating city. The statists don't even notice they prefer libertarian societies. Cruise ships started out as yachts for rich people only. Competition drove the price down. Now they're international cities, and the governance aboard keeps improving. Seasteaders have driven the price down even further. Think of this as a self-governing cruise ship. It's family-sized, reasonably affordable, comparable to beachfront property, and it stays at sea for at least a century. The nonprofit Seasteading Institute inspired the builders to build. A seastead prototype has been in operation for more than 6 months. It broke the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest time living 10 meters underwater, 120 days. It's now being used by marine scientists. The aerospace engineer told me that he read my book twice and he keeps a pirated copy on his phone. More seasteads are for pre-sale. The captain on a cruise ship is, in practice, a dictator of his own private city. The customer doesn't even know who he is. They don't get to vote. They just need to choose, and everything keeps getting better and cheaper. That includes the employee from the developing world. The labor laws of his home country don't apply on the cruise ship. Yet he keeps choosing to spend 6 months out of the year living in a floating libertarian city. I'm sure he misses his family. Why does he choose it? It's the superior governments that provides a job that's better than any job he can get on land near his family. He sends remittances from his libertarian society to his land country. Call Marx. He's being exploited. Everybody wants to exploit everybody. But he acquires skills on the cruise ship. The cruise lines compete for his skills. He can choose another cruise line. The conditions for the employees keep improving, not because anybody is an angel, because everybody has to compete in a marketplace of skills. The world is full of people with unique skills who will take the best opportunity they can get, which is on a free, private, anarcho-capitalist city. Acrobats, ballet dancers, scholars, lecturers, dishwashers, daycare workers, chefs. The option on the floating libertarian city is so much better, they'll leave their families for months. Think of a service. It's walking distance from your room on a cruise ship, and it's cheaper than your land city. The ANCAP oceans are already vastly outcompeting your favorite state. Cruises are the fastest growing travel industry in the world. They employ more and more people every year. And why? Because a maritime flag makes it free to self-govern, and it has to compete with other governance provider. Excellent governance evolves on the sea, not planned. It emerged among self-interested humans with no monopoly on land. These are the fluid mechanics of voluntary societies. Mark Edge said you don't need libertarians for libertarian societies. That's already proven. Just let people choose, and they choose it. They choose it in Morazan. They choose it on cruise ships. They choose it from Cuba to the US. They walk to it. They swim to it. They dig tunnels under the wall. It's not an argument. It's a service. Build it and they will come. Build 10,000, they'll all come. Seasteaders are already out there. The catamaran community of the world travels all over planet Ocean with no weapons, homeschooling their kids. Pirates are a land problem. Don't believe the media. Pirates flourish off the coast of failed governments. Somalia, Yemen, Nigeria, Indonesia. More than 98% of the oceans are not even designated as pirate waters. That means an area of the planet free of pirates is twice as large as all the land on Earth. Does your land government have any pirates? Don't believe the hype. Crime is everywhere. But the oceans are a vast interconnected society of peaceful, voluntary, floating communities, many with private security firms that guarantee security. When's the last time you heard of someone getting mugged on a cruise ship? Why do your grandparents feel safe boarding a cruise for 10 days? Why do your children feel free to play on the dictatorship of Disney cruises? Because libertarian societies naturally emerge on a fluid. This can't work on land. It's impossible on the sea. The path to outcompete the states of the world is 10,000 startup governments on the blue frontier. That's why I don't argue about politics. That's for land folk. Those of us stuck on static land live in a perpetual fallacy that we have to give our minds and our souls over to arguing always about a monopoly on governance we can't control. But on the ocean, if people believe in their ideas, they won't talk about it. They'll make it happen on a seastead. Entrepreneurs founding startup societies. I want to live in a world where you say, you got politics, seastead it, or shut up. Name me a value you have that you're trying to fix by yelling about politics. I can explain to you why seasteading is a better solution. Progressives who love seasteading love it because it's the ultimate means to accelerate progress in good governance. Conservatives love seasteading because frontiers reinvigorate traditional values like responsibility and self-reliance, and it turns governance services into a business. Libertarians love seasteading because it's an excellent technology for creating voluntary societies that don't force anyone to participate if they don't choose to. Environmentalists especially love seasteading because it's an affordable way to mitigate sea level rise, increase coral reefs, store carbon, and increase the amount of life on the ocean. You can't be an environmentalist if you live on land. You can't make your society state-free on land. Seasteading is not a plan for society, but a platform for anybody to try their own plans for society. What makes seasteading different from land governments is that it allows you to create any kind of society you want. Do you have a plan to govern other people? If you're not willing to seastead it, you don't really believe in it. Most of the surface of this planet operates according to libertarian dynamics and progressive principles. Nobody imposed it. It emerged. We need a technology to guarantee that this emergence accelerates. 2 insights. First insight: if people can move their property around and choose the societies they want, your life's work is done. Libertarian societies will emerge naturally, as many as you want. Second insight: it's not hard. It's doable. Stable homes on the sea are easy. The technology has been in use since the 1970s. You can drive a pillar into the waves like a nail, and it remains as stable as a pillar. Seasteads are a technology that will guarantee libertarian societies. Your grandchildren living on seasteads are going to wonder why you spent so much time fighting about these primitive superstitions on land. The golden age of anarcho-capitalism has already emerged on the sea. All voluntary, safe, legal, no politics. Seasteading isn't utopian. Politics is utopian. Most of this planet is a blank slate for you to start your own country. The liquid medium is so fundamentally different. You won't even words like country or nation or prime minister. These words are superstitions. State politics is magical thinking. The types of governance solutions that will be discovered in thousands of seasteads competing for you to choose them will not resemble any of the ideologies we're dreaming up now and trying to force on each other. It won't even be an ideology. It'll be a service. 1,000 voluntary services. The marine engineers have done their job. 2 seasteading companies on both sides of the world have launched seastead prototypes. Ocean Builders in Panama and ArcPad in the Philippines. Now we confront the final challenge for seasteading. It's a legal challenge, a challenge in international law. Seasteads, they're not a boat, they're not a spar, they're not a flotel. They're a combination of a flotel, spar, and coral reef. There's no legal category for this innovation, but there's a process to get one. To get freedom on the sea, you don't need to talk to governments. The boat industry goes to flagging registries, private businesses who sell them the right to govern themselves on the sea. Countries like Liberia, the Bahamas, Bermuda designate private businesses to sell you freedom to govern. That's why cruise ships have so much power to govern themselves and sell their governance to customers to attract employees. So now we face a new challenge to the mission. The incentives of the nonprofit and the for-profit companies have diverged. Both of the leading seasteading companies won't go through the onerous process of securing a seastead flag to free all seasteaders. If Ocean Builders spends a few million to establish a flag for the first seastead, ArcPad can register their seasteads for a few thousand plus a yearly fee. Both companies have put a lot of skin in the game. Both are self-funded. Both need to make their money back. Starting now, both companies can profit by selling 1,000 floating homes in territorial waters. But that's not seasteading. The Seasteading Institute needs them to build 1,000 for international waters, more than 12 miles out. All seasteaders need a legal path to do that. Making seasteads legal globally must be provided by the nonprofit. I put this idea out there, and ocean industry professionals stampeded to volunteer. Our volunteer team of professionals, which includes a naval architect, a classification surveyor, a maritime network engineer, 2 marine insurance brokers, 2 maritime lawyers, they all agree this is the path forward for the Seasteading Institute. I asked them to make financial projections revealing what it would take to do this right by hiring professionals. There are 2 paths we can take. The $2 million path for 1 legal seastead, and the $3.6 million path for infinite legal seasteads. Our naval architect calculates that for less than $2 million, any boatyard that builds wind turbines will build a seastead, insure it, and station it in international waters. They'll do the whole process soup to nuts. We just need a business model to support that first seastead. Next week, I'm headed to Tokyo with the maritime attorney who serves on my nonprofit board to attend a conference on maritime law. And we're going to seek partners and consultation on the path to legal seasteads in our oceans. And what about the plan for infinite free seasteads? Infinite! Our team of ocean industry professionals, all volunteers inspired by seasteading, estimate it will take up to 5 years and $3.6 million to develop the classification society to make seasteads legal, safe, and insurable for all seastead companies. These numbers don't include Seasteading Institute operations, which is about $350K a year, which supported the research and storytelling that inspired 9 seasteading companies to build. Ocean Builders is on the forefront and they're ready for the high seas. Let's make it legal. Donate $100,000 or more and your name will be engraved on the keystone of the first flag for international waters. When you free 2/3 of the planet, your name will go down in history as a founding father of countless free generations. Scan this code to get your name on the plaque for the Declaration of Ocean Independence. Donate $1 million, your face will be engraved on the plaque. Seasteads will peacefully discover political solutions faster than any politician. My name is Joe Quirk. If your mind is free, I'll see you at sea. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you for listening.